Hello and welcome to Steps to Maths. In this short video, we're going to be asked the question, if 15% of a number is 45, what is the number? So this is an example question from the what is the number part of percentages. And there's going to be two ways that we're going to have a look at this. If we know 15% of a number is 45, there's a few things we can do. We can figure out what 5% of the number is. Well, it's obviously smaller. It's a third of it. So we're going to say it's a third of this. So it's going to be 15. Then I can go up to 100% of the number is, what is that? Well, this is multiplying by 20. So this also has to be 20 times as large. 20 times 15 is 300. So our answer is 300. And we would check that by typing in 15 over 100 by 300 over 1, and we would get 45 as we expected. So that's one way of doing it. 5% is you go from 15% down to some useful number. Let's have a look at a second way of doing this. We have 15% is 45. Now the way that we will be doing this most of the time, usually we don't have a nice easy number that always works out. So instead of going from 15 to 5 back to 100, we can always go down to 1%. Is 45 divided by 15. Because we made this 15 times smaller, so this has to be 15 times smaller. Then we can find that 100% is, so what's 45 divided by 15? It's 3. Now we've made this 100 times bigger, so we're going to have to make this 100 times bigger. So 100% of a number, so 100% of a number means the number is 300. So this is called the unitary method, and you will use it a lot. It's the handiest way to find your way from 15% up to 100%. This also works if you're told that 115% of a number is, for example, let's say 345. We can find 1% is 345 over 115, because you find you make it 115 times smaller, so you have to do the same to the number. Then you make it 100 times bigger, and we do the same to our answer on the right hand side. So that's how you do that. Now, there's another way of doing this. If we're told that 15% of a number is 45, well, how do we find 15% of a number? Well, we know from finding percentages of something in the previous section, finding a percentage of something, we write this as a decimal, which is 0.15, and we multiply by this number. We don't know what the number is, but we do know that the answer is 45. The question then is, how do we reverse it to find the number? Well, the opposite of multiplying is going to be dividing. So we divide by 0.15. That will give us the number equals 45 divided by 0.15. If you understand this, that's fine. It's just undoing what we've done to something. To find 15% of it, we multiply by 0.15 to get to here. To get back to where we started, we do the reverse of what we did, which is the reverse of multiplying is dividing. If you don't understand this, don't worry about it. Just use the unitary method. It works out very nicely every time. Okay?